in 2020 after COVID, after the murder of George Floyd. And I think there was this deep desire in me to just build empathy and understanding of other people's circumstances and situations that I felt like was glaringly missing. And I think you and I were working in an emergency room at the time, and we were seeing that happening every day just with our patients, and all kinds of prejudice and bigotry and racism that they experienced, whether it was because they were psychotic, because they were Black, because they were, female, because they were destitute, or whatever the identifier was. We saw that happening day to day. And it just was boiling in me that what would it take to build empathy? So many of the stories we hear as psychiatrists are so similar in terms of the human experience and condition. And most people have no idea of their own context, let alone the context of somebody else. What if we could expose people to not just the theory behind, identity and narrative and how you feel about yourself, but kind of like the lived experience and first person story of someone who is actively in the process of better trying to understand themselves, and in doing so, better able to understand other humans. Why we chose women of color as our focal point. I mean, you can start with what you know, first of all. Yeah. But also because, it's about time to feature these stories, because at the end of the day, on the social hierarchy of who has power, women of color, these are stories that are and experiences that are usually just pushed aside and dismissed. And it was just really important for me to be able to highlight those stories, and give them a platform, because their stories deserve to be highlighted finally, with care.